Good morning, good morning, good morning. It feels a bit like a Friday, but it's not a Friday, is it? Interesting. But today is a good day because I am going to fill you in on the content that I've been putting out this week, why I've done it, how you can use the same strategy that I would use and have used for donkeys, and how I teach my guys to do what they do. Yeah, good. I'm in the right spots. So throughout the whole week, we've been looking at, Instagram Reels Creativity Challenge. And I know that most of you have struggled with the creativity side of things. And yes, there's definitely a tech part of that. There's the technical side of actually creating the reels themselves, but the tech toolkit is there for you if you're struggling with just like navigating Instagram. And if you need that, the link will be down in the comments. But for a lot of you, and generally the people that I work with is, they're people that have been in business a little while. They know roughly what they're doing. They've been around and they know kind of a few bits and pieces. And for most of us, we've really had it drilled into us and really had it kind of sucked into our subconscious that, we've got to write this big, meaty, juicy content. And that's not always the best thing to do, and definitely not with kind of how social media has gone right now. So you've only got to look at stories are really micro content. Reels is going to be micro content. TikTok is micro content. I mean, even if really you think about it and you go back, back in the day, Twitter was micro content. We had to learn how to create tweets that were only, at the time, a really short amount of characters at one time. So it's not like a new concept, but certainly for most of the people that I work with, they're used to making really big, meaty content. So getting their brain to kind of reverse back is a difficult thing. And I get all of that. And there's a strategy I'm going to show you and share with you in how to do this, right? So just to kind of fill you in. So throughout this whole week, I've been talking, you'll have seen my content on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. It's all been around hashtags, okay? And there's various different things that I've shown you about hashtags. But hashtags for me is one of my one of my macro pieces of content. I know that my audience struggle with hashtags. They always have done. They probably always will do. Good morning, Liz. And it's one of those big, juicy, sexy pieces of content that I know my audience really like. Now, the reason that I've done that is because I knew that this live was going to be coming up, and I wanted to show you guys how and why I did what I did. So I took one big juicy piece of my content, and I have a few juicy pieces that I know that my audience really love. The hashtags was by far the easiest. And what I did throughout the week was, and I've used my content to demonstrate to you throughout the challenge how to do different things, right? So you're all aware of it. I've taken my hashtags and I've taken it into little pieces, and I've showed you it in the micro form. I've showed you it in the smallest sense, okay? And that's just me using the strategy I'm going to share to you, and I just call it my content cake strategy, right? Where does cake come from? It's been around for ages. I kind of figured that everybody loves cake, so we kind of remember it. There's a couple of them strategies I have, and they're all kind of hubbed around food, ironically. But morning, Joanne. But I wanted to demonstrate to you how I do these things, so that you can go back and look at them and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like I now know why she did what she did, because there's been a couple of comments throughout the challenge. People have said, oh, that was really well-timed content. It was perfectly timed, right? It's perfectly timed because I meant for it to happen. I did it with intention. Good morning, Steph. Like I did it with intention, right? To show you how this stuff is done. Now I'm going to show you how we do this. And I am super old school when I do these things. Get yourself a pad and pen. I mean, you could do it on a device if you want, or a computer, whatever, right? But I'm old school as F, so it has to be done like this, right? So I'm going to put in the middle, because my juicy piece of content idea, my big macro piece of content idea was hashtags, right? And then what I'm going to do is write ideas around what I could show you on tags, right? And I'm certainly going to be today. There's going to be some written copy coming out for me around hashtags as well. And I've got a TikTok idea around hashtags. So there's still more to come, and it's all around this one subject. And I had to learn how to do this. I learned how to do this back in the day when I was running a health business, and I created a podcast for that health business. And I had to create, and I ended up creating a podcast that was 114 episodes around one subject. And that's how I learned how to do this. And it has served me so well ever since. It's like I was scared I was going to run out of content. And I know that lots of people feel like that themselves. And this is how you'll never do that. Like you'll never, ever, ever run out of content. As long as you have a few big ideas, and I refer to those as pillars, but a few big ideas, then you can macro that content and then micro content it out, right? So just as an idea, here's a few, right? So what I do is, here's my big idea. And then as you can see, I've micro contented this all out, and all of these little things here have become my micro content. And it's the content that you've seen that I've put out on social media over the last week, because I wanted to demonstrate to you how I do this, okay? So my thing to you is, you need to do this when it comes to thinking about your reels. So if you're thinking about, oh my God, how can I, how can I create content in 30 seconds? Like 30 seconds is not enough. How can I create content in 30 seconds? Well, it is enough. You just have to kind of pull it apart and turn that big idea into lots of little ideas, and then use the little ideas to create your content around. Like I say, this can be used for all kinds of stuff. Like this is not just reels. You can do this for almost every piece of content that you have to write in your business. And it even extends to when it comes to creating kind of courses and opt-ins and freebies and YouTube channels and all kinds of stuff. It's always about, going for the smaller idea and just expanding on it and giving really good in-depth information on that one tiny little subject. So it's bite-sized. It's really, really easy for people to consume and pick up, and they can come with almost like, get it, okay, that was really cool, that's really easy to understand, and then they're almost like really thirsty for more, and they'll go and find more, right? So this is what I want you to do. So when you have your big idea, I mean, I've put a hashtag, but it's one of the many juicy things that I have to talk about. But put your main business idea here and then sort it out. And if I call it the content cake, because what I normally do is I normally put cake in the middle, right? And then you can put all kinds of stuff, cooking times, ingredients, baking method, like there's loads, right? And you could just cake it out. It's super easy, but you do this. The big thing in the middle is your business. It's one of the things that you want your audience to know about you. It's one of your specialist areas. It's one of your pain points for your business. Whatever it is, whack it in the middle. And then all the various things that come off of that you could talk about, they all become your micro content, okay? And this is what I want you to do. This is what you need to do when it comes to building out strategy for your reels that you want to do. And like I say, go back maybe through some of the previous recordings for the last few days and listen, or just go and check out some of the content that I've done over the last few days so you can see how I've pieced it out. Steph, so mine would be personalized printing. Yeah, exactly. So that would be, good morning to whoever said good morning. That would be your main piece. And then you could spread this out. So if you had personalized printing, then you could be t-shirt printing, you could be design, you could be fonts, you could be printing on hats. Like it could be all kinds of things, printing for teams, like printing problems, DPIs, how big does the file need to be to print? Like you could just do all different kinds of things. And those individual things all become your micro content that you then could turn into some sort of social media post that's going to help you going forwards. Yeah, the content cake is what I teach to some of my clients, some of the people inside my membership. And ultimately it just helps and unlocks the brain almost, and helps you just kind of move yourself forwards when you come to that roadblock. You know, when you just sit down at your desk and you're like, what the friggin' hell am I going to write about today? Like, I don't have a clue. Like, I promise you, there is a ton of stuff inside of you. You just have to learn to break it down. And, you know, I fell prey to this many years ago. You know, I trained quite heavily in health. And you just want to, you just want to like just download all the information in your head because you want to help, right? You want to help the people that you can serve. But ultimately, a lot of these people just aren't ready to learn big chunks of information. For some people, they haven't learned anything new in a really long time. So you've got to kind of take that on board. And the smaller pieces of information are the better. And certainly the way that social media is going right now, bite-sized pieces is what is preferred. It's easier to consume. People are busy, they're on the go. You know, it's rare that someone will sit down and listen to a long piece of content now. Like we tend not to do it, so we keep it as short as possible. So that kind of wraps up all of your, you know, your Reels challenge around the creativity side of things. Hopefully everything that we've done across the last few days has helped you and will continue to help you. And obviously you can go back in and dive back in. Replays are all available either in the Facebook group or on YouTube Replay, but everything's inside the hub. So if you click the Reels link, if you haven't done so already, and create yourself a login, you'll get all the tech toolkit. You'll get the ideas bank as well. There's loads of ideas and stuff inside of the bank. And then you get all the replays from this challenge and the one that we did in December. So there's loads and loads of things for you to consume. But today is a cool day. My membership reopens. So from a creativity point of view, if you're still kind of on the fence or you need someone to help you a little bit more and being a little bit more in depth when it comes to creating content on social media, and ultimately your content is what sells your business. So if this is something you struggle with, and honestly, there's a lot of people that do, there's no shame in it. The Content Engine opens today, and I will drop the link to that below. I love this membership, and kind of everybody that's inside thus far loves the membership. We all help each other and support each other. It's a private community. Yes, you've got some cool shiz in there. You've got, I refer to them as rooms. So you've got the kitchen, which is kind of all ideas, and this is walking you through how to create content for anything, for anything. This strategy is the one that has helped me build, you know, hundreds of thousand follower base over my business, has earned multi-six figures. Like, this is the strategy that I use to create content. But as you go through, you've got the kitchen, you've got the dojo, which is like learning tech stuff. You get the monthly tear up, and I come in every month. This month, actually, we're going to use the people inside. The monthly tear up, I take someone's content and I tear it up. So I take their macro content and I turn it into micro content, and I show you how I do it. So that's loads of fun. And it's just to name like a few things: the kitchen, the dojo, like there's all stuff. You've now got a social media calendar in there for you as well, that's done in Excel, and you can put in how many posts you're going to want, and it will spit out the other end how many posts you have to create and what platform they're going to be useful for. It's really kind of, you've got the panic room, which is awesome, which is full of all my memes and just other bits and pieces, pre-made content if you need it, for those days that you're like, holy shit, like I have nothing to think about today. Like the dog has eaten the kids' homework, you know, the hot water's gone off, like those days that you just need something for social media, then you can dive on into the panic room. But it is super, super cool. I will drop the link to that below. It'll be in the comments somewhere. If you need any help with that, or you have any questions around the Content Engine, then give me a shout. But it is a whole lot of fun over there. I love it. The people inside love it. And hopefully you guys will love it too. But if you need help with content, and content that converts, and content that actually helps to build your business, create leads, generate income, all of those cool things, the Content Engine is where it's at. And you definitely get a higher touch point from me inside. You get to see what I get up to, and I'm super transparent in there as well. Like, anyone that's in there might tell you that actually it's a no holds bar. Like, if I do something, I go and I tell you exactly how I did it. So if that's some tech wise, I'll tell you how I did it. If I've changed strategy slightly, I'll tell you how and why I did it. So it's kind of real insider knowledge should you want to come in, and it's super affordable for everyone. So it's good. Yeah, Liz is one of my members. It's people like I'm thrilled. It's my first ever membership. This is the second intake, and I love it. They love it. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased that I put it together. I do enjoy it. I do totally enjoy it. And Liz is always funny in there, so it's always good. So yeah, I'll drop all of that in. So hopefully this week has been kind of informative, giving you some ideas, giving you some tech, giving you some creativity, kind of bundled it all together. I'm always around if you have questions, of course. Give me a shout, give me a holler. Links will be below for anything that you might need. If you still need a toolkit, then the link will be there. If you want to take a look at the content engine, then the link will be there. And of course, if you have any questions, then just hit me up in the DMs, people. All right. So I will see you all real soon. I will be invading your timeline with promo around the content engine, so beware. But hopefully I'll see you all inside real soon. Take care.